Hello and welcome to another episode of Training Issues on Vanguard Live. And my name is Precious Chukudi. Alright, so let's move straight to the highlighted trend for the day. And on Twitter, we have Access Bank trending, Lawma trending, and stories on Instagram. We have OC Swave, OAP. He hails a Nigerian cheap educational cost compared to the UK and US. Also, Nigerian business guru says no matter the pay or incentive you give your staff, most of them will still steal. Let's find out more after this break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And if you're just joining, it's still trending issues on Vanguard Live. Okay, so Access Bank is trending. Access Bank, what have you done again? Okay, a couple of people on Twitter calling out Access Bank for having there's some fraudsters have been calling them of late and reading out their name, date of birth. And they're like, come on, how did these guys have access to our information? I mean, if you guys tell us protect your information, and yet we have people who are calling us and telling us, are you not Obi now? Are you not the one that is born in 1998? Or are you not the one that is born in 1942? All those kind of things, and they are worried about it. So let's take some few tweets of what people are saying about Access Bank. All right, so this one is from Lydio Kane. He says, Dear Access Bank, your customers have been receiving calls from people posing as bank representatives, and these people actually have accurate bank information. And my friend had just been swindled this night. I have tried talking to your customer care, but they waved it off. So well, we'll bring the matter here. I don't know if it's your ex-employees doing this, and I honestly don't care. Just fix it up or tell us if banking with you is no longer safe. These fraudsters know you have an Access Bank account, they know your date of birth and even your account number. How the heck is that possible? When I tried to voice my concern last month, I received an automated response. A lot of people have been receiving such calls too. We'll take this from Dr. Uchila, and he says, LOL, Access Bank is a mess right now. I have had 5 colleagues complain to me this morning about these calls from hackers. Access Bank has to fix up. This one is from Balarabe, and he says, got a call from Access Bank that federal government asked them to credit all their customers with 30k each because of COVID-19. But they are having issues with mine because date of birth on my account is different from the one on my BVN. And wanted me to verify. Told the lady to use her own date of birth. Very, very funny. Like, how do you call people and then tell them these things? I've been seeing a lot of videos on scammers and what they do. Yesterday I watched one from popular musician Harry Song. One guy tried to call him. I was telling him, Oga, is it not me? And Harry Song was like, okay, you from where? And there was this back and forth between both of them, and he later found out the guy was a fraudster, and the guy too found out that he found him out, that kind of thing. All right, so let's move to this word. This is from Lydio King, still saying that finally Access Bank reached out to him and he's satisfied with their response. He says, I have taken down the thread as it has served its purpose. Also, no matter what, never give anybody, especially a stranger, your personal details over the phone, no matter how convincing they sound. This is from Abubakar Sadiq. He says, Access Bank is asking me to fund my account in case there is no money inside, so that they can deduct the accumulated 15 naira stamp duty charges they inadvertently have not been charging me, so they can remit to CBN. See me see wahala. Still the same Access Bank is still basically for most bank. We have all these fraudsters trying to see who they can milk money. And it's so unfortunate because if they get across to especially our old people, they can take off all their money. I remember a very close incident of when somebody was telling me about, a retired pensioner, and the baba got his money, in the account, and what now happened next was that he apparently, one of the fraudsters called him. Next thing, he said, baba, we don't have your date of birth and all that. He gave them all the information he needed, and they swindled him of all his money. People are just wicked. Like, if you're out there defrauding people of their hard-earned money, I don't know what to say to you, but then you're doing something really wrong, and you shouldn't be doing this at all. All right, so away from Access Bank, we move straight to Lawma. And Lawma has been in the news for a couple of days or weeks ago, and it's because of how people who are working with the Lagos State Waste Management have come out to call them and say, you guys are owing us our money, pay us our money. You've been owing us 3 months salaries, and we've been sweeping, we've been cleaning and all of that. And then an inside the investigation into Lawma and all that came out when somebody was saying that there's a chain in that management agency. How there's someone who is like a supervisor who supposedly is supposed to recruit sweepers, and sometimes they recruit 6 sweepers and say they recruited like 20 sweepers, and collect salaries for 20 sweepers, whereas they only pay for 6 sweepers. And this made them run into millions of naira, fraudulent amount of money. And that's what it is. Well, it turns out that most of the sweepers today have decided that they will not continue in this act. There's a video on that one. You can check out the video all right later, but let me take some tweets of what people are saying. And this is the Niger Viral. It says the Lawma highway sweepers dump their uniform in protest of unpaid 3-month salaries. They worked all through the lockdown period and are yet to receive pay for the work done. Instead of paying them, the government decided to sack them. Alright, this is from NDX. It says it's totally unacceptable that they haven't been paid for this long. More than anyone else, the Lawma sweepers are always consistent. First thing in the morning, often to only have their work undone by 10 a.m. This is from Period Partner, and the person says, I will never understand owing people salaries that are already not enough for them. How does Lagos or any state for that matter justify owing Lawma? Okay, this is from Oku. He says, League of Dirty Lagosians, this isn't the time to spill your dirt on the road. Get a good bin and store whatever you have, as Lawma guys might stay off work for some time due to Lagos State inability to pay their salaries. Be guided and stay clean always, as health is wealth. This is from Oluomo of Derby, and he says Lagos State is a failed and corrupt state. Lagos State Speaker gets 17 million naira a month for maintenance, and the House of Assembly members went to Dubai for 5 days, spending 80 million naira, but they failed to pay Lawma 3 months' wages. Alright, so this is from Chemically Botanically. It says, Chai, so all the drainage and erosion that Lagos experienced last week was just part 1. Gwesu part 2 is coming. Now that Lawma people have strike like this, it's a very sad one. I mean, these people are, they have their parents, their husbands, their wives, and to families, and they are not being paid. It's a very, very sad one. It's bad enough that we're going through a pandemic and people are not being paid salaries of work that they have done. It's a very sad one. We hope that the Lagos State government will be able to rectify these happenings in the Lawma. Alright, so away from that, we move straight to stories on Instagram and what's trending on Instagram. So Cinderella Man, known as OC Swave, OAP, has said he's hailing Nigeria. So let's see what he's talking about. And He says, when I look at how much it costs to study medicine in countries like UK and the US, it amazes me how the federal government is able to maintain the standards in our medical schools with cheap fees. And these medical degrees can stand the test of time anywhere in the world. And really, it's funny, they everywhere in the world, people still get to say, oh, Nigerians have the best doctors from Nigeria, and yet, and yet we will still send some of our children out of the country to go study abroad so they can have, the best degrees and everything, and only for Nigerian doctors to still find their way and then travel out of the country just so that they can, be very useful over there. Okay, so let's see what people are saying on that one. And this is from Kunle Riwe. It says, but the end justifies the means. Our medical sector is so messed up. And this is from I Am Steve Nero. It says, there's no comparison between the quality of studying medicine in Nigeria and doing the same in UK and US. The gap is like trekking from Nigeria to Algeria. Come on now, how far? Alright, so this is from AZ Future. It says that Nigerians who study medicine in Nigeria are more brilliant than those who study in other countries. You get why? This is from CY Nikki. It says cheap fees but no jobs. Isn't that useless? This is from Love Affairs. It says, as a medical professional that studied in Nigeria, we do well abroad. Let's just hope things get better. Okay, this is from I Am Sammy King, and it says, welcome, and yet Nigerians travel out to receive medical treatment. Well, this is from Ike Swag. It says, truer words never said. For once, Nigeria got it right. The taste is different. The difference is in the taste. And this is from My Name is Special. It says, once you land Nigeria airport, your mood could just change. How funny is this? And then this is from, okay. So I think that is all that I can take on OC. Away from OC, let's just move to this guy, a Nigerian business guru, who has something to say about workers, and how no matter how you give them good incentive, pay them salaries and all of that, they will still steal your money. Okay, let me take what he posted. And he says, one of my mentors owned an O&G firm. He found out from his PI that his top staff were stealing from him, and his finance guy, a pastor, just bought a filling station worth 150 million naira. I asked him why he didn't sack him. His response, he just made the company 2 billion naira. Let's consider it tight. He contracted me to set up an ERP system to curb the stealing. While we were on it, he made it clear that they won't use it, and even if they did, they will find a way around it. He was right. They abandoned the platform after 6 months. If you have ever owned a restaurant, club, hair barbing salon, supermarket, church, etc., you know that people steal, and unfortunately, it's more prevalent in Nigeria. Most businesses shut down because of this. Someone called it the Nigerian factor. You have to account for it in your financials. It is what it is. It will be dishonest of me to think my own case will be different. That's business foolishness. From government to law enforcement to staff, you will have to navigate your way through a system set up from day one to make sure your business doesn't succeed in Nigeria. Alright, so let's take what some people are saying on this one. And this is from I Am Uche Wanko. It says, you can barely attain the Nigerian dream living on the honest pay. Ha! So are you saying that you have to steal to make money, Uche? Are you saying that you have to steal to live the Nigerian dream? Alright, this is from Diary of a Triplet Mom. She says, if you put systems, controls, checks, and proper structures in place, it will help curb theft in businesses. This is from Official Lini, and she says, the statistics to which this truth is high, especially apprentices who will build house with your money before you settle him. Talking about apprentices, you know how those boys who are learning work, and they say, oh, they have to serve their boss for 7 years before they will now relieve them, and those kind of things. It's a very long one. So I wonder how those boys will literally cope without being paid salaries or nothing, and they expect them to just go like that, and then So they will definitely be taking some of your money if you have to live by this means. That's what it is. This is the perfect time. It says this is the truth. 80% of the employees, people in general, will steal if they have the opportunity. It's just the way some people say, oh, let them just give them a chance to rule as maybe president or governor one day. They would, steal for their families and everything. I think it's just one of those things that some people have in them. This is from Miss BB. She says the same people that bash the government. Exactly. But the same ones that say, oh, they've stolen money, they've done this. But the question is, if you're given a chance to actually be in the same seat as some of the people who are ruling this country, what would you do? Would you steal money too? Or would you just say, okay, I'm here to do my job and I'll do my job well? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. And this is from Natives and Grill Abuja. It says, this is so true and sad. Affects small businesses like crazy. This is from Harrison Wealth and says this is pure truth. Nobody's as interested in your business and increasing more than yourself. They don't mind killing your business for their own profit. K. Buga says prioritize honesty over skills. This is from Tikla Official. It says, nah, you lie, you. Your staff lack contentment and it's personal, so stop generalizing it, Biko. Sorry for your experience. I'm sure this guy has had the best of staff, for him to be saying all these things. And this is Toby Loba. Where person they work, now their person they chop, Abi. Ogbeni shock you. People are just very funny. But it is what it is, I think that the most important thing is a good name is always better than silver and gold, is what it is. So you should not even be putting yourself in that position where you'd have to steal from your boss. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So let us know what you think. Do you think that the Nigerian factor of, like, that's what the man said, Nigerian factor, stealing is the Nigerian factor? I really don't think so. We still have good and honest people. So do you think that stealing is in our blood, like all the way from the government, law enforcement agencies to even staff at work? Do you think it's a Nigerian factor? Let us know in the comment section, as we would like to take and read some of those things as well. And remember that you can, if you want to check out more of our stories, you can basically go on our website www.vanguardngr.com, and if you want to join us more, you can like, share and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. Till I come your way next time, of course, it's trending issues on Vanguard Live. My name is Precious Chukudi. Thank you for watching.